Hi everybody, my name is Beth. I'm the Desert Stitcher and this is my Flosstube channel where we talk about mostly cross stitch. Today is Monday, March 8th, 2021 and this is Flosstube number 23. Welcome. I promised I would do an update on my Steel City Stitchers March Madness for 2021 and this morning we finished the first bracket. Not the first bracket, the first row of brackets, and moving on to round 2. So I am having so much fun with this March Stitchy Madness. It's a lot of fun to go on everybody's stories on Instagram and vote what you want to see go on. I'm having a really good time with it. So huge thanks to the 4 ladies at Steel City Stitchers for putting this event on. It's a really good time. Quick life update. I had my first vaccine dose on Saturday, and the only negative thing I could say about it is that my arm hurt. And it was kind of like, you know, when you're a kid and your kid brother punches you in the arm. That's happened to me a few times. That's kind of what it felt like. So that was really my only difficulty, and the fact that I sleep on my left side, so I had a little trouble with sleeping Saturday night. But that's about it. That's my whole reaction to my first vaccine dosage. I go back the end of March for my second dose, so hopefully I'll have just a similar experience. Cross my fingers. I wanted to give a quick shout out today too to a new to me Flosstuber. Now, he has a huge following on his channel, but his last episode was just before I really started to get into floss tubes. So I hadn't seen him, hadn't seen any of his episodes, but caught one last night. Kansas City girl in a Colorado world posted on her stories about it. I'm like, okay, I gotta go check this out. I did right away. His channel name is Stitching in Sound, and it's Kyle, and it was a lot of fun to watch. And oh my gosh, his FFO project that he showed and the whips that he had. I was particularly in love with this Teresa Wensler one that he had called Fortunate Traveler. I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget the name of it, but oh my gosh, it's stunning. And another one that he had was Scarlet, which is from crossstitchingart.com. Beautiful, beautiful blues. Just, it's a fancy lady and it's gorgeous. Definitely go check out his channel if you haven't already. I think I'm about the only one that hadn't heard of him before yesterday. So yeah, Stitching in Sound, and I will link it below. So how's everybody doing out there? I hope you're doing well and you're taking care of yourselves. And let's get on to some stitchy madness. Yay! I had a really good time with all of this. I'm going to do this again next year. Absolutely. So, round 1 on March 1st and March 2nd, I had the Battle of the Janes, which was Jane Eyre versus Jane Austen, which the pattern Real Comfort from Modern Folk Embroidery, and Jane Eyre was by Primitive Hair. And that was these two. It was close. It was down to like 2 hours before the voting ended, before the tie finally broke. And I got a little help from Steel City Stitchers, came in and voted on my stories, so that was great. So the winner of that one was Jane Eyre. So Jane Eyre is moving on to the next bracket. Jane Eyre is by Primitive Hair, and here she is. She is just gorgeous. And it has one of my favorite parts of the book, quotes from the book in here. I am no bird, and no net ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will. So when I had started this on my birthday. Literally, I got like 3 rows of the J done, and that was it. Because I didn't have very much stitchy time on my birthday at all. So I had a little more time when it came up during the week for voting. And so I finished the J and the A and started up on the N. I recall it was kind of a long day at work, so I didn't get a lot done, but I made a little bit more progress. So Jane Eyre is moving on to round 2, and that is, I will be stitching on that tomorrow, and voting will go up for it tomorrow as well. Now, it is going up against the second battle, which was the Halloween battle, which was Nevermore versus Midnight Manor. Nevermore won easily. That's these two. And this is the pattern Nevermore. And let me show you where I'm at with that one. So here's Nevermore. Absolutely gorgeous. This is from Lila's Studio. And I'm doing it in a mix of the, excuse me, the called for overdyes, the silk, which is mostly this medallion here, and one other medallion, and some DMCs. So I'm mixing it up. I'm doing this on 28 count Monaco, hand dyed by me, 1/1. And when I started to work on this on the 3rd for that evening for voting, I had to first start with doing a little frogging because I realized on that silk medallion I had gotten off by 1 on one side. So I did more frogging than stitching, but that's where I am with this. And just, I love, love, love the colors. This is Slug Bug by Threadworks. Gorgeous, gorgeous color. A lot of variegation to it. Really, really pretty. And this silk is wonderful to work with. So that I'll be stitching on the 10th. And that is going up against Jane Eyre. So the vote on Instagram will be Jane Eyre versus Nevermore. I'm glad I'm not deciding on that one because I would say yes to both. But I'll be interested to see which one wins that one because I love both of these patterns. My next battle was on the 5th and 6th of March, and that was Cat Scratch Fever. That was Cat Lover's Quaker by Jardin Privé and Chester's Place from Whistle Stop Stitcher. And the winner by a landslide was Chester's Place. And that's what Chester's Place, give you a little better look at that. And got a little more stitching done on that. Again, on weeknights I don't get as much done as I do on the weekends. And here's where I'm at with Chester's Place. I am doing this on 28 count Whisper Lugana 1/1. And I'm using a mix of the called for DMCs and overdyed flosses. So I just started on the house. I just got the little bit of the chimney done here. That's going to be really pretty. And yes, Bonnie, I read your comment. Yes, the house is something else on this one. It is gorgeous and it's quite large. I am missing one color from the house, so I think I'll be making a run to Joann's this week. So I even checked the bag of flosses that I hadn't bobbinated yet, and it wasn't in there either. So I had no luck on that. So the next one was house hunting. And that was Nantucket Christmas House Trio from Hemlock and Rye Stitchery and Home of a Needleworker 2 from Little House Needleworks. I kind of was hoping that Nantucket Christmas House Trio would win, but no such luck, unfortunately. It was close. It kept going back and forth all day, and I even checked late in the evening, and it kept going back and forth between Nantucket Christmas Houses and Home of a Needleworker 2. Home of a Needleworker 2 did end up winning out. So it is moving on to round 2. I'm showing this backwards. Here's the pattern. And it is really cute design. And you all know I'm a house nut. So I am enjoying it. It is a fun stitch. And I do love the blue in this house. I think it's gorgeous. So I will be stitching on that again on the 12th. And this is what's going up against Chester's Place. So that's my final 4. It'll be Jane Eyre versus Nevermore. And then Chester's Place versus Home of a Needleworker 2. So I would love to hear from you. What would you like to see move on? And I can use that as a tiebreaker in case I run into any ties with my final 4. So do you like Jane Eyre or Nevermore? Or do you like Chester's Place or Home of a Needleworker 2? Which one would you like to see move on to the next rounds? So next voting will be tomorrow for Jane Eyre versus Nevermore. And then on Thursday will be Chester's Place versus Home of a Needleworker 2. I am really excited. And then once we have those 2 winners, it'll move on to the March 13th and 14th will be the final 2. And then I'll have my champion that'll work on from March 15th through the end of the month. I am so excited. I'm really hoping for a finish on one of these 4 projects. I'm going to cross my fingers. I think I have the best shot of either Chester's Place or I would guess Home of a Needleworker 2 or Chester's Place. I think I've got the best bet on finishing. I'm not sure. There's a lot of little elements to Nevermore. But tell me in the comments below which one is your favorite. And if you think there's one that I'm more likely to finish than the others. Do you think I can finish Jane Eyre? That dress is pretty hefty, and then there's still the good bit of words on it. And Nevermore has a lot of elements to it. Chester's Place has that big house, which is gorgeous. And Home of a Needleworker 2 has a few little elements to it. But that is all I've got for today. It's a short little video. I promised I would update on round 1 for Steel City Stitchers March Madness. And thank you so much for dropping in. And hope to see you again soon. I don't have any haul today, but I did order a couple patterns from Needlework Expo and a couple other things are on the way. Bad Beth. So maybe in my next episode next week, I will have a little haul to show you as well. Anyways, take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching and stopping by. And I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Go Steel City Stitchers March Madness. If you're not on Instagram, hop over there and vote. Bye.